everybody trying to be content creators and trying to go viral. You want to go viral?
Okay, you want to go viral. Let's go viral then.
Say let.
Let go.
Let's embrace it. Let's love it. Let's enjoy it. And let's give them the experience of their life. That's Roswell for you, baby. Come together. And guys, this is Speaking Out Loud. I appreciate you guys joining us. Don't forget to share and dance like you just don't care. It's early in the morning. Let's have a day. And like I said, be a friend. Tell a friend something nice. It might change their life. Shout out PMS. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice. It might change their life. Good morning and welcome to Speaking Out Loud. I am your host, Rene Ruiz, and along with me is the one and only, the man with the buys, the man with the tries, the one with the broad chest, the one and only John Barba. JB, what's up, brother? Good morning.
What's going on?
Bro, rough morning, tough morning. We both kind of hit the snooze button. These 5 o'clock mornings are starting to catch up just a little bit. So just to let you guys in to kind of how we've been working the morning show is you basically consume content all day. At least in my world, JB, I'm speaking for myself here. I don't want to speak for you. You can add to it if you'd like, but you basically consume content all day. So we do the show in the morning. We'll wake up 5 o'clock, log on to X, kind of see what's going on in the world of sports at least. Then you throw on a little bit of TikTok just to kind of brush up on a couple interviews. Then you go to Instagram to see if there's some graphics that are educational. And then you just kind of watch stuff all day. Wait for breaking news on ESPN. I'm a big NFL Network guy as of right now. I try to stay away from like First Take or the debate shows. Not a fan of the debate shows. I lost interest probably about maybe 2 or 3 years ago. Stephen A. Smith and them, they annoy me, and they do it, and it's basically debate shows have now become rage bait shows. At least in my opinion, that's what it feels like. It feels like they're just kind of throwing something at the wall, hoping it catches, and then like in the intro, you want to go viral? Let's go viral. That's basically what Cam Newton is insinuating whenever he said that is you want to go viral, let's go viral then. And if you watch the 4th and 1 show, JB, with Cam Newton, kind of funny. I'm a big clip guy when it comes to his show. I wouldn't say that I sit and actually watch it, but his clips are fire. Hilarious guy, comedian, happens to be in a massive football player body, but one hell of a comedian. But JB, sorry to go on that little ramble there. You want to tell us what your mornings?
I mean,
Just tough.
my mornings, my mornings are pretty simple. Wake up, see what's going on the news a little bit, and then see what I can find. But I really during the day, I'll always have like some free time. I travel kind of a lot for work and stuff, so I'm like always scrolling. I'm screenshotting things, especially on X too, on Twitter X, whatever. That's where I get most of my information from. And then of course you get like the breaking stuff on Instagram and stuff like that. A couple things here and there, but I mean, all that stuff comes out on X. So I'm pretty set on like where I can get all like good information from, so
Yeah, for sure.
yeah, pretty much just wake up and then kind of scroll through some of that and get ready and then hop on here. Yeah. It's just my computer is pretty slow.
Yeah, now we go. Let's start off by just shouting out 2 of our boys right here, Ryan Russ and Mikey Nunez. Always tuning in, boys. Shout out, appreciate y'all, man. JB, let's get right into the weed of this. Let's talk about the new flag football sports league. Have you heard of this? Have you heard of this yet?
Not really. No.
Not really. Well, let me educate you just a little bit. Tom Brady has sold his soul, as some would say, allegedly, to the Saudi Arabian folks. His name would be the same guy that runs boxing, Turkey Al-Sheikh. These boys in Saudi got a lot of money to throw around. They're ambassadors who are trying to basically bring the Western world of sports into Saudi Arabia. Slowly but surely, they're taking over boxing. And now it looks like they're going to dabble into the NFL. Yesterday, it was reported by Adam Schefter. Tom Brady is coming out of retirement, sort of, to join Saquon Barkley. These are some big names here, JB. Huge names. Saquon Barkley, Christian McCaffrey, CeeDee Lamb, Max Crosby, Rob Gronkowski, Sauce Gardner, Miles Garrett, and others for the Fanatics Flag Football Classic. It's a competitive flag football tournament taking place during Rida season in Saudi Arabia on March 21st, 2026. It will be Brady's first football action since retiring 3 years ago. Pete Carroll, Sean Payton, and Kyle Shanahan will be coaching the teams in the NFL. Ooh, that's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
So yesterday, I did see Tom Pelissero reported saying that the NFL has nothing to do with this, zero, nothing, and it's up to the organization or the clubs, if you're a soccer player, organization, um, whether or not they allow their players to go play in this. Of course, there's an injury liability if one of these guys get hurt. That's going to be a tough loss for your team. And this is all basically a tune-up for what is expected for the Olympics because flag football is now going to be in the
Mhm.
Olympics. JB, let me just read this to you real quick. The Flag Football Classic. That's the Fanatics Flag Football Classic. That's what it's going to be called. Um, Tom Brady is participating in an expedition flag football tournament in Saudi Arabia in March 2026 and is open to the idea of playing flag football in 2018 Summer Olympics in Los Angeles, where it will make its debut. Tom Brady, let's pause right there. Tom Brady playing in the flag football tournament. Are you interested, or is this a situation where you're kind of like, all right, Tom, let's let the young folks let's let the young folks run this.
Yeah, I mean, there's
You remember Sorry, if you remember a couple years back, the USA flag football quarterback, I forgot his name, but he went viral. Why not go viral? He went viral for saying that he has a higher IQ in flag football than Patrick Mahomes. Now you got to assume maybe he was right. Sure, okay, we'll just give him the benefit of the doubt. Sure, at that exact moment, maybe your IQ level of flag football was a little bit higher. But if you were to give Patrick Mahomes 24 hours to prep, I think he would already outdo that guy. No offense to the guy. Probably a lot better than me. I'll say that now. Probably a lot better than me. But let's relax when we're saying dumb shit like that, right? But JB, Tom Brady, come on, let's give the kids a chance. Or
yeah.
you like Tom Brady representing USA?
I mean, I don't know. Like, I think there's a lot of good athletes, especially for flag football too. And if he wants to do it, go ahead and do it. But I think there's a lot of other athletes that can play the quarterback as a position in flag football. I mean, I don't know if it's kind of like a media thing where it's like, you get a lot of hype around it with these big names and then that helps it grow a little bit. But I think flag football is pretty popular sport in America. Like it's grown a lot, especially the last few years and everything like that. I don't know if you need Tom Brady. You know what I mean? Like I think you could use younger guys, get some younger guys out there. But I will say this: if you know how to sling the ball in flag football, you're definitely a threat. So you don't necessarily need to be super mobile. All this kind of stuff. Sometimes you do. It just depends. I don't know. It might be good. It might. That's something I really don't
Why
know.
you be- why you being nice? Why are you being
I don't
nice
know.
about it?
Like,
Like
because I think he'll
you
get.
basically said, "Hell no, Tom Brady, sit
Yeah.
your ass down in that booth and go ahead and call games." That's what you said.
Yeah, like I think so. Like I think you need someone younger back there in these flag football leagues. I'm not sure. Is it going to be like a little league where like you got
Well,
athletes
it's a tune-up. It's a tune-up for the Olympics. But it seems like it's going to be pro football player based that are
only
out there. I'm
or
assuming they're probably going to bring other talent as well. Let's see. Let me read this. It says, "What is it? The Fanatics Flag Football Classic is a new global exhibition tournament style flag football event. It is being produced by Fanatics in collaboration with Fox Sports, OBB Media, with support from Saudi Arabia's Rider Season organization, which is all the bread. The event is set for March 1st, 2026 in the Kingdom Arena in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. The format of the rules, there will be 3 teams, each with 8 players, mixing current and former professional football players and possibly people from entertainment and sports broadly. I don't like that little statement. Like, let's keep the famous people. Like,
it's a money
like no
thing.
offense.
Let's just say
Yeah, yeah,
that.
yeah.
It's a money thing, 100%. You're gonna use names to.
You know what? You know what would be interesting though is when they say famous people or entertainment. Like, I ain't gonna lie, it'd be kind of cool to see Jeff Teague kind of come out and see if he can transition from basketball to football. I mean, the guy. I mean, it's not like Jeff Teague is like 6'8" or something crazy, right? I think he's probably like maybe 6'2", 6'4", right around the perfect size of like a cornerback or a wide receiver. In flag football, I mean, we've seen it, right? Flag football, Roswell, New Mexico used to host one of the biggest um, flag football tournaments in the U.S. and is slowly growing one of the biggest flag football events in the U.S. So shout out to those boys that organized that here in Roswell. So we've seen some cool stuff, man. And what's crazy is whenever we go out there and they'll show me the money events. I remember back when I was younger, sometimes we would trip out because some teams would come from like Miami or from Florida. And like we would trip out because their quarterback was just like some thicko slob. And you're like, what? How's that team any good? And then that thick dude would just be tearing it up.
Yeah.
And that's the only thing, like I wonder, that's the only thing that would or that makes me feel comfortable about Tom Brady leading the Team USA team out there. It's like, maybe you don't need a mobile quarterback. But of course it is 2025. That was back when we were younger, JB. We are now 32, 33. And that was back when we were like 22. So maybe things have progressed. You see it in the NFL with a lot more mobile quarterbacks. So it is going to be interesting with that. I wouldn't want Tom Brady leading my team out there. I'd take someone more like a Josh Allen if that was a possibility. But with the names that are being tossed out there, I don't see why Josh Allen wouldn't want to go out there or Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson would be pretty fun. But
Yeah.
let's see. Let me read you a little more here, JB. So it's a round robin format. Each team plays the other than the top two teams by record advance to the championship game. Ooh, that's the interesting part. So that's kind of cool because that just means that the round robin games, each one, it's like a playoff game because you got to win by points. I don't know. That's one thing I hate about soccer. Soccer has those situations where they have the round robin and then the top two come out, but then you can kind of fugaze like your third or fourth game if you just kind of lose it on purpose, so that way one team doesn't get the points that they needed, blah blah blah, so that way you can advance. It becomes like a chess match, right? I hate that though. I hate that because at the end of the day, like let's win, let's win. I don't like the loser mentality where you kind of throw it in just a little bit so that way you can weasel your way into a better seating. Like, no, let's just win. The best teams are always gonna come out on top. Uh, let's see. The rules will follow a kind of Olympic style flag football, 5-on-5 on a 50-yard field with 10-yard end zones. God, such a small field. Game length, 2 halves, 20 minutes each. The confirmed players we've already said is Tom Brady, Rob, Saquon, Christian McCaffrey, CeeDee Lamb, Tyreek Hill, Sauce Gardner, Myles Garrett, Crosby, Odell Beckham Jr., and Brock Bowers. Those are some big names, bro. And then the coaches committed already: Pete Carroll, Sean Payton, Kyle Shanahan. Those are the three
Definitely
coaches
getting
that will
paid.
lead the teams.
Definitely getting paid for that.
Oh, bro, stupid money. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know how true this is, but allegedly, Canelo he signed $120 million 3-fight contract with Saudi Arabia. I mean, you see what the Saudi Arabia folks been doing with Live Golf. I mean, they created an entire league, removed players from the PGA, like Bryson DeChambeau,
Yep.
and drop 120 mil, paying these guys in advance. Like, bro, that's stupid money. Stupid money. And they're just having fun. If you watch Turk Galashik at these events, bro, he's chilling. Sometimes he looks like he's half asleep. Like, you got
Yeah.
so much money that you can look bored at an event. Like, that's wild. But shout out to them. Hey, and let's remember, JB, at one point, the media went nuts when the golfers were taking this money from Saudi Arabia. Dirty money. Do you know where that money came from? Women's rights out there. La 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 la. I wonder if the football players are going to get the same energy. I'm curious. And if they do, why? Shut up. Like, let these boys feed their family. Let them bring that money back to the U.S. and spend it. Right? I mean, I don't know. I'm
Yeah.
not an economist, but is that how it works, JB?
I mean,
Is
they're
that how it works?
obviously they signed. This is something that like I'm sure that is in these professional athletes' contracts, like doing things like this and stuff. So it passed. It passed. They're gonna get paid,
for
and
now.
that's it. I mean, I don't think we're hearing too much about it right now because it's kind of not blowing up right now, but I think it will, as time gets closer. So, but I think, they're getting paid like crazy to do this and to like represent. So that's why they have Tom
Get your
Brady, and
bread.
it has to do with Fox too. So, I mean, I don't know. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, it's definitely a public, like, entertainment event.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
get good names to represent
Are
it,
we?
and
Are
then
we? Are you
they're gonna
excited about it? Would you say you're enthused?
uh if it was like it's not something that I'm like setting my freaking TV schedule. I'm not
No,
scheduling to see that. I don't know. I don't know.
I'm.
For
I'm
me,
a.
I'm
I guess
excited.
I'm a nerd. I'm a nerd. I'm a nerd here. I'm looking forward to this. But also, JB, I watch boxing and UFC, so I get weaseled into watching some dumb shit sometimes, and then every week, and you'll slowly see this since we do a weekly, daily show. I'm gonna start getting hyped about these UFC events slowly but sure. Like right now, slow day in the MMA world, but it's gonna slowly pick up, and then there's gonna be a pay per view that comes up, and all of a sudden, watch a couple videos, watch a couple promos, and it's like, hey JB, there's a banger on this weekend. I
Yeah,
remember I remember probably like four. There's probably like four events that had happened with the UFC, and it's like, here comes another banger. This might be the best card. It's card of the year, card of the year. And I remember Ruben called me out. He's just like, dude, you just keep saying the same thing. And I'm like, yeah, I didn't think about that. But I am saying the exact same thing. And it's because these goddamn promo videos,
all
bro.
for
They
the
get me
hype. That's
excited.
what it
They
is.
get me juiced up.
Yep.
And it's always the music. And Jay just kind of called me out. He's like, what's up with you in that perch sound? It's just like, bro, that perch sound just it gives you the little tingles down your body
Yeah.
just a little bit, gets you amped up. I joke around with my kids and my wife when I hear the perch sound, just like, is SOL starting? Is
Yeah.
SOL about to start?
Yeah. Seriously.
So I'm hoping if we ever hear the perch sound, if you ever hear the perch sound, you watching. I hope you think of us, and I hope you don't think of the world ending. And with that being said, JB, the world is ending for a couple teams in the NFL. There's a few teams that are 0-2 right now. And what I want to ask you, JB, is which 0-2 team will get their first win this Sunday? One, the Texans, two, the Chiefs, three, the Bears, or four, other. And when I say other, these are the other teams that are also 0-2. We got the
Yeah.
Browns, we got the Texans, we got the Chiefs, the Giants, the Dolphins. And I put the Bears on there twice
Yeah. You did.
purposely because that team, them and the Dolphins might be fighting for that first round pick at the end of this year. And I don't know if that's a good thing for the Bears because it. Let's go ahead, JB. Let's answer the question before I get lost
Well,
in the sauce over here.
I don't think the Panthers get their first win. Just looking at that thing, the easy answer is the Chiefs. But I'm gonna shake it up a little bit, and you're gonna hate me. But I think the Bears can pull it off. I
Ah,
think the Bears can pull it off this week after what we saw the Giants do. If Ben Johnson can get that team under control on offense, what's really kind of disappointing so far, I think, from the 6 quarters of football with the Bears is their defense, how awful it's looked, and usually their defense is always pretty kind of respectable. But I mean, that might be the team with the upset alert. Might be the upset alert. I don't know. Just based off what we've seen these past 2 weeks, and you still have hope in Chicago. A lot of people don't. I don't have hope in Chicago. I don't think But I think if you were to go for like an upset alert, I think it would be the Bears. I think the Chiefs definitely do get a win though.
that would be the
Um,
one. And
yeah, that would
I'm
that'd
not
be
going to disagree with you
it's a
completely.
possibility.
Yeah, the Browns, they still got to play the game, so it's always a possibility, right? But uh, this morning or yesterday, their best cornerback hamstring injury might have to have surgery, reported by Adam Schefter.
He's out for the year.
Um, that that's a bit. That's a torn hammy. That doesn't sound good.
He's
So
for.
it gets worse. The poorer get poorer, as some would say. Um, I I don't know. I don't see an upset. I just feel like that team's kind of falling apart. The only reason that we're giving him any hope, I think, correct me if I'm wrong here, is you just have hope that Ben Johnson can turn that thing around. Outside of that, I mean, that team seems down in the dump. The clips that I've been seeing that are coming out about that team, it seems like maybe the Chicago Bears aren't embracing Caleb Williams like we thought. Is it the
Yep.
media just spinning it, or is it actual facts? JB, how do you feel?
There's just a lot of things going
You
on
did
around
go
Caleb
ahead.
Williams. I don't think all of it is his fault. Like this dude makes some crazy throws every game, but then he's
Yeah, so did
inaccurate
Zach Wilson.
when he throws.
Yeah,
It's just like you got your highs and you got your lows. You kind of have that with every young quarterback. So I, it's kind of like give the kid more opportunity, more time. How is he learning we need to clip the Tom Brady clip and show it on here. He was on Colin Cowherd the other day, and Colin Cowherd, his thing with quarterbacks is a second year guy. Depending on the management and the coaching and everything like that, he gives them till Thanksgiving. If he can't show up till Thanksgiving, you pretty much just dismiss him. And Tom Brady had a great response to that. And I can pull up, I'll clip that clip and then we can probably play it tomorrow. But it's a
okay.
great clip of showing what these coaches are doing with their quarterbacks and what Tom Brady had when he was very young in his career. How he had Bill Belichick, who was essentially one of the greatest defensive minds in football, would go into the quarterback room and break down every single coverage when it comes to a cover two, a cover one, a cover zero blitz, cover four, a three-man safety, three-man high defense, all these different looks. And he went through, okay, this is what we do when we run trips to the right. This is how we break that defense. This is what this defensive coordinator likes to call. Like, are all these young quarterbacks getting that same treatment? And is that why they're not succeeding? So it really is. You got to be in certain situations that are going to help these quarterbacks, because like a lot of the times, a football coach is just a football coach. He's not a freaking dude working up in an office, some accountant or something like that. Like these guys are football coaches. At the end of the day, we know kind of how football coaches are, even at the professional level. So these guys need the right training, they need the right coaching, they need the right support to really get better. So they're not
For
and
sure.
say that this is a professional job. Like this is, I mean, some guys still aren't getting trained right. It's crazy to say, but maybe Caleb Williams, maybe he's just, who knows what's going on back there. But I feel like Ben Johnson is an offensive minded guy. But how are they implementing this stuff and making Caleb Williams a better, not just talent wise, because everybody's got talent at this level, right? And that's what he
Yeah,
said.
for sure.
Everybody's got talent at this level. It's how you are coaching these guys and not essentially like grooming these guys to play on Sunday. To read the defenses, to control the offense, to make offensive line adjustments. Like there's so much you got to put into it, and if you don't have the right people in your corner to help you progress, kind of like how Tom Brady was talking about it. It's a really good clip, and I'll share that with you.
Yeah.
Maybe share it tomorrow on the show. But it's a really good clip. It really opens your mindset of what these quarterbacks will go through and what some actually don't go through. Not everybody got the same treatment that Tom Brady got. Having that luck of having a Bill Belichick on their team.
Well, that's the unfortunate part of
Yeah.
being a first round pick, right? You're not always put in the right situation. But speaking of development, let's go over to the college football world and let's get with our college football enthusiast, former D1 athlete for the UNM Lobos. UNM Lobos coming off a massive win. But let's start off with the comedian, Mr. Theo Vaughn's tweet. But let's bring in Tim Foley. What up, Tim?
Morning, guys. How you doing?
Morning. Good.
Pretty good, Tim. Let's get a quick laugh while we got you here before we get serious with the power rankings. Diego Pavia and Theo Vaughn's bet. It got a little juicy, got interesting here. Let's see what happened after that win. Uh, let's start off with Diego Pavia's response after Theo Vaughn said, "Where should I take her?" I replied to that. Not that anybody's going to see it. That's important, but I responded with, "Hey, let's go to the college. Let's take her to the college football playoffs. That seems fun." But Diego Pavia responded to Theo Vaughn saying, "What Theo Vaughn forgot is I said it was a deal if if and only he told this girl, Tate McRae, to let me take her on a one date in Nashville. Twitter, make it happen. This is the girl he's trying to go on the date with, just to give you guys some context there. And then Theo Vaughn responded with the receipt here. Actually wrote this chick, "Hey Tate, my friend said I could take his mom on a date, but only if he is able to take you on a date. Here's a pic of him. If you don't want to go on a date with him, I can also take you on a date." What? Theo Vaughn just plugging himself with the model there. That's kind of genius.
I like that.
Outside of the jokes, Tim. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's funny because the first three messages is a typical like two-man wingman response until you get to that last one, and then you're like, "Well, hold on, you can't."
Yeah.
He goes from trying to take my mom out on a date. Now you're trying to get at my girl. Like that could be a little problematic.
Yeah. Yeah, that's hilarious. Just slowly sneaking it in. Hey, but if you say no, what about me?
Hey, but
I'll at your boat.
I know exactly, but at the end of the day, rules are rules. He said, if you hold up your end of the deal, I'll hold up my end of the deal. So we'll
Yep.
see how that
Shout
plays
out
out.
Theo Vaughn. Sending over the plug for his boy Diego. But outside, jokes aside, realistically, what are the possibilities of this Vandy team and Diego getting into the college football playoffs?
That's a good question. Being a local kid, I love watching Vandy win. They had a great win this last week against South Carolina. Um, the reality is, I do not see that happening, and only because of the schedule that they have ahead. Vanderbilt has a weak Georgia State team this week, which they are 27-point favorites in that game. Then they play Utah State at home, which I think is going to be a tougher game than what everybody is looking at. But then when you look at the games after that, 6 of their final 7 games are going to be against top 25 teams as it currently stands right now. So if all those teams stay in the top 25, they're only going to have one game out of their last 7 that isn't against a top 25 team. And that could be problematic. Maybe they can pull 2 or 3 of those wins out, but in all reality, that in order to win out in the SEC and make it to the college football playoff, I just don't see that happening.
Oof. I mean, hopefully the guy he promised a national championship. And before we move on from him, uh, On3 Sports reported Vanderbilt's quarterback Diego Pavia's attorney has set the stage to challenge the NCAA for a 7th season. Diego Pavia went on and responded to this and said this is completely false. Tim, you have any insight on that whole situation? Is he trying to get another year? He said he's done, but any word or any update on that?
Yeah, so obviously Diego came out and said that that was cap and that he's going to be this is his final season. I don't think that's what his lawyers are trying to do. They're just trying to set that precedence moving forward that if he wanted to, he could come play in the 2026 season. What people have to remember is Diego Pavia is playing in this season not because of a set ruling, because of a temporary injunction. He is still currently in that lawsuit, and they're saying that while he's in that lawsuit, he can still play this last season. So it is not a set in rule yet that junior college isn't going to go against your eligibility is how it is right now, but it is currently in the lawsuit is pending and they're working on that. His lawyers are doing this for junior college kids and kids coming in. It's not necessarily for Diego Pavia. His lawyers are just in the forefront of it. Um, I don't see it being a I don't see it being a bad deal for Diego to come stay in college football for one more year. I see how the antics, how it might look to the outside world, but he's making a little bit north of $2 million this year in NIL deals, and he can make more than that this next year. He's not going to be making that on a rookie contract if he does get
For sure.
drafted into the NFL. So money wise, it looks good. Looks good to win, and then ultimately put a good SEC season under his belt to be a higher draft status.
Yeah. So media kind of spinning it a little weird. It sounds like he's just being an advocate for the next generation of junior college kids. So shout out to him. But optically, 26, 27-year-old playing college football does not look good at least in my opinion, you got to give the young kids coming out of high school a chance, right? I mean, the last thing you want is to turn college football to, and it might already be looking like a semi-pro league, similar to like the XFL or something like that. I mean, is that what what college football would be afraid of if they were allowing, 27, 26-year-olds to keep playing?
Well, we kind of ran into that this last season with Cam Rising. He was the Utah quarterback. He was 7 or 8 seasons in college football, but he had a lot of medical things happening, which they allowed him medical red shirts and to come back and do that, which he ultimately stepped down from football. But Diego Pavia is 24 years old. Not saying that that's
24.
young, but there are older people that have played in Division I football for other things, whether it be the mission or going into the military, which stops your clock, your eligibility clock. I can definitely see that being an issue. It all it's doing is it's driving um, kids coming out of high school to want to go to junior college for more of like a prep school. Because at the end of the day, you have an 18-year-old kid, if he comes and plays as a true freshman, going against a 27-year-old man. I mean, that in a physical sport like football, there could be some injuries that incur because of that. But at the end of the day, there's a lot of schools that instead of signing kids straight out of high school, they're going to the transfer portal. They'd rather get that 21, 22-year-old kid who they've seen play on a Division I level, and have him come in and they can and make an impact day one rather than trying to develop an 18, 17, 18-year-old kid into being a good star in their program.
So these junior colleges might be getting some pretty solid talent because it seems like that's the way to go, right? If you're on the fence of getting into a major college, if you go JUCO, you could just get in the transfer portal and extend your college career. Not a bad move, I'd say. I'd say.
Yeah,
Uh,
this ruling is actually making junior college a thing again. A lot of kids kind of looked at that as, oh, my grades aren't good, or if I can't get into that school, I'll go into junior college. This is going to make junior college relevant again and kind of make it like a farm system because kids can go in there, play 2 years, not have it count against their eligibility, and play against some good quality talent, and then go in to the Division I programs at 20 years old as a freshman. So I can see that being a little bit better for college football.
hey, shout out the JUCO community. We have a JUCO community here, right? NIMI, New Mexico
Hmm.
Military Institute. So shout out to the Broncos. Am I getting that right?
Yep.
Yep, shout out to the Broncos. Shout out to JUCO leagues. Let's go over to the major colleges. Let's talk about Tim's top three Heisman. It seems to have slightly changed just a little bit here, Tim. What's give us the rundown on your Heisman leaders?
Yeah, so I have Carson Beck at number one, and the reason why is these last 2 weeks. I mean, this man has been absolutely balling out. He is leading the country in completion percentage with 79.3% completion. He has 812 passing yards, 7 touchdowns, 2 INTs. He also has the fourth best QBR in the country at 89.9, and they're winning. And they have a sneaky game this week against Florida. They're 7.5 point favorites. I see them covering that. Florida just looked very bad this last week, and DJ Lagway does not seem to be getting it together. I think sometimes he forgets what color jersey his team is with how much interceptions he's throwing. But what's a good outlook for Carson Beck is if they get past this next week, they play Florida State, who's the number seventh ranked team in the country next week. If they get past that game, their schedule is set up to be an undefeated team. The rest of their schedule is not very competitive. They'll have a Syracuse game later in the season that their quarterback's leading the country in passing touchdowns and yards right now. But if they can get past Florida State, they can be an undefeated team, which looks great for a quarterback in the Heisman race.
Okay, Carson Beck. Go ahead, go off, man. And then at number two?
Number two, I got Garrett Nussmeier. We talked about him a little bit last week playing at LSU. His numbers do not look great. He has a 65.1% completion percentage, 689 yards with only 3 touchdowns and 2 INTs. But they have a game this week against Southeastern Louisiana, who they are big favorites in that game, and they've already talked about coming out and working on their offense in this game. So I expect them to have an explosive offensive game against this week Southeastern Louisiana team. And I expect to see those numbers look a little bit better after this next week. At number three, I have John Mateer, which I know everyone's going to be looking at this and saying, "Man, you said that they weren't even going to be a 6-win team this year." but But in reality, these last 3 weeks, this man has been balling out, and he is a big name in college football, and you can see him. His name's coming on the headlines, and you can really see it in Vegas. They have him as the second or third odds favorite to win the Heisman right now. It's going to change every single week, but he has been really balling out, and he has a very, very tough game this week against the 22 ranked team in Auburn. They're 6.5 point favorites. They have a bye, and then they play a weak Kent State team, and then they have the Red River rivalry game the following week, which that's going to be a big coming out party for John Mateer. And if he's able to do what he does in that game against Texas, he's going to cement his name into college football history books.
Oh, that's gonna get spicy. And the Lenore Sellers, that was the one guy who got removed. Is that specifically because of the injury and the loss?
Uh, more so the loss. Obviously, he did get injured in the second quarter, which kind of does put an asterisk next to that game. But and he did well before he left. He was 6 of 7 before getting hurt, passing. The thing is if you're not able to play all the games, and we don't know the extent of this injury, if it ends up being he's going to have to miss this week as well, that could really impact when the Heisman standings come out.
Ooh, JV, any comment?
No, everything sounds good. I like Carson Beck, how he's moved up. I've been watching a little bit. I was watching some of that LSU game. Garrett Nussmeier, man, he can sling the rock, and um, yeah, he's not putting up the numbers as Tim mentioned, but I like what Carson Beck is doing, man. He's kind of carrying that team on his back. He's making them a lot better than I think what was projected, like, earlier on in the season or before the season started. So Carson Beck is definitely balling out. I kind of agree with this list. I have nothing against that at all. So from what I've seen so far, and that could always change with Garrett Nussmeier, because I know he was probably like a favorite coming into this. So don't sleep on him yet. So I think he's going to make. I think they're going to make some moves, and he's going to get a lot better as the season goes on too.
Ooh, I like it. Tim, the power rankings. Um, your power rankings, they
Yeah,
changed just a little bit. Let's
Chip.
last week. Last week you had Ohio State, Penn State, Oregon at 3, LSU, and Miami. And now let me pull this up for you real quick. Sorry, Tim. Sorry, Tim. Here we
No,
go.
you're good.
Pull up.
Yeah, so the switches I had Oregon come out of the top five. I really agreed with the AP top 25 this week. I didn't see Ohio State, Penn State weren't going to move because they did what they needed to do against those teams this last week. Same with LSU, Miami. The reason why I have Oregon coming out of the top five this week is because they struggled a little bit last week against the weak Northwestern team. They play a weak Oregon State team this week. But the big game for Oregon and the way everyone's going to be watching is next week when they're at Penn State. That's going to show that's going to have Oregon be able to display their talent to see if they really are worthy of a top five spot. So really, I have them out of the top five just because they're not playing any quality opponents in next week, and they didn't do so hot against a not very good opponent this last week. But expect to see them, especially if they beat Penn State next week. They'll definitely be in that top five discussion.
Uh, I look at the AP post from ESPN, and it looks like we're matching them. It looks like we look exactly similar to them, huh?
Yeah, it's one of the rare times where I actually agree with their rankings. And the reason why Georgia jumps up is they played a tough opponent in Tennessee this last week and won a great football game in overtime. You heard Kirby Smart after the game saying that Tennessee deserved to win that game, which they did. Georgia pretty much did everything that they could to lose that football game, but still came out with a win at the end of the day. And that just shows a great team because they can fight to the end, even into overtime after the game is over to go get that win.
Yeah, buddy. Nice. Well, that is our college football rankings. Let's see who gets off next week, or let's see who moves up as Texas get back in there, maybe. But Tim, let's cash in some tickets for this weekend. Hit us with your Tim's tickets of college football.
Yep. So I have my parlay going. I have a little bit longer parlay for you guys this week. I
What
know I haven't hit
cooking?
one of those yet. I've been one game off. So the reason why I have a little bit more teams on this one is because I took a couple money lines. So I wanted to get those odds up there
Let's
for you
go.
guys because that's what you do a parlay for. Bet little, you can win a lot, right? So I have
Yep.
Utah Utes covering. That is a big game. That's one of the games I have to watch this week. It's probably the biggest game this weekend is number 17 Texas Tech against number 16 Utah. Utah is 3-point favorites at home. I see Devin Dampier having a great game, and I see Utah really cementing a name for themselves this week and beating Texas Tech. And then I had those other games on there for just money lines. And then there was one more spread. I have Arkansas beating who they're playing this week. I have Michigan playing, which they're only 2.5 point favorites, but I see them covering. I do see Oklahoma winning against Auburn.
Not right.
I didn't really like that spread. It scared me a little bit, so I just took them money line. And then I have my locks. I have Miami, which they have a great team that they're playing in Florida. I really see them winning by more than 7.5 points. Florida's really been struggling, especially on the offensive side of the ball. And then I have Iowa. They're playing at Rutgers on Friday night. It's going to be a close game, but I see Iowa winning that football game.
Iowa Hawkeyes. And what's the biggest game this weekend? What's the one we need to lock in on?
So really, there's three of them. We have Auburn, number 22 Auburn at facing John Mateer in Oklahoma, the number 11th ranked team in the country. They're both undefeated. Same with Texas Tech and Utah, 17 and 16 that we just talked about. They are both undefeated. There's also another top 25 matchup, number 9 Illinois at number 19 Indiana. That's going to be a big game to watch. And I also put Michigan at Nebraska. Michigan's only 2.5 point favorites, as you guys saw, but I think Michigan's going to come out and show that they are still a very good football team against Nebraska and do what they need to do.
And that's also known as the Bussin' Bow for those people that watch the Bussin' Boys. So shout out to those guys. Tim, I appreciate you making us just a little bit smarter in the college football world. I thank you. And hopefully we catch those ticks and hopefully we hit our first parlay at plus 580. That sounds like some cheddar, make it everything better. Everybody, thank you. And Tim, let's have a hell of a week. Tim Foley.
Yep. See you guys next week.
Hell yeah. Hey, we got to start. Hey, you know the thing about parlays, JB.
Huh?
So I was talking to
Losing
Malcolm
money on
about
it?
Malcolm, our buddy. Parlays, they're at like a 12% hit rate. So like
That's
Price
really
Picks,
low.
I was telling him about Price Picks, how Price Picks is technically or like Underdog, those apps, those over under apps. Those are like the only ones that are legal in our area, right in New Mexico.
Yeah,
It's like a 12% hit rate. Like it feels like the biggest scam of all time, right?
yeah.
And the odds just get lower as the more teams you add. That 12% hit rate is for like a 2-team parlay, which is
Wow.
but guess what? Guess what I'm gonna be doing? Setting up a lineup this weekend to get the juices flaring. Because a little bet, a little sprinkle on a little game makes the game so much better,
It
so
does.
much better, Borba. All
It
of a
does.
sudden, you got $5 on the Iowa Hawkeyes to cover at -2.5. All of a sudden, I'm a Iowa Hawkeye alum out of nowhere, JB.
Yeah.
That's what $5 does. $5. Have you hit any bets on Price Picks?
I've lost so many bets this football season. I haven't won any. I'm sick of
You're
it.
just out here donating.
Yeah, I'm literally just giving money to charity at this point. Like, so I don't
Maybe just
know,
put
man. I'm getting
$10.99.
skeptical on betting, but I'm probably gonna lock one in. I always lock one in for like the Thursday night game, a couple games on Sunday, and then I did the Monday night game. I didn't do the Monday night game this past week, but I did last week's Monday night past week. Locked in a bet on that. I haven't hit on nothing. I'm like 0-5 this year, so it's
Nate, JB, yeah, I think 1099, right? Is that the right form that you would give someone for donations, or that's what we need to fill out at this point? That's what we need to fill out because the amount of donations that we're giving away to these gambling sites is crazy. Nate said in
yeah,
the comments, change your location. I tried. I did the
yeah, I
VPN
tried
thing.
to.
I tried to get FanDuel, and their technology is a little advanced. They're like, no,
Yeah,
sir, you're not in Colorado. No, sir. I'm like, come on, bro, come on. They know, Nate. There's a these apps are so regulated. And like I said, I use Bovada, but I've never been able to pull money out. And when I've had the money to be able to pull out, in my head, the way I think about it, it's like I'm just gonna probably put money back in, so I might as well just let my gambling account just roll over, until I get like I don't think I would pull out money unless it was like 5 grand. I think at that point maybe, or Adrian might make me pull it out if it was like at 2 grand. Maybe because it's been at 1,000, and she's like, have some fun, baby, have a little fun, have a good time. Aaron Cheech, we'll have to ask Tim next time he comes on the USC. Tim, you know what? I was gonna ask him about that because I did see a lot of critics. There's been a lot of criticism on Lincoln Riley ever since he left Oklahoma. Hasn't seemed to been able to change that organization around. Even when he had Caleb Williams, it seems to still struggle. He was such a big hype about coming into the NFL. His name was attached to the Dallas Cowboys when we were looking for a head coach. So let's see how that turns out. Tim Foley says he uses my bookie. E-Rob, my boy, also uses my bookie. I started with Bovada and I just kind of stuck with it. My bookie Bovada, pretty similar. Um, but never had to withdraw from either one. I also have a my bookie account. One time I was down in the dirt, so then I opened my bookie account so that way I can get that promo. They offer you 100% match down in the dumps. You put $100, get $200. All of a sudden, I'm back. But JB, we got 10 minutes to close the show, and before we close the show, I do want to ask you, what was it that I was going to ask you? Did you? My bad. Did you like did how do you feel about Tim's power rankings? Are you a big follower of the power rankings?
Yeah, now that Tim's kind of been spitting some games, so I've kind of like started paying attention to a little bit more football, kind of how it's going. One of the teams that he mentioned too was Oregon. He necessarily doesn't have him in his top 5 yet, just based on the schedule right now and everything like that. Oregon looks pretty good, at least from like most of what I've seen. That's a team that I think might sneak up into his top 5 rankings unless they just play off of one of these weeks. But that looks like a team that's coming up and coming, and their quarterback situation right now looks better than
Dan Lanning.
like Dylan Gabriel, who just came out. Like they got possibly some high round draft picks when it comes at the quarterback position this upcoming year. So they got some young cats over there making some plays. Offense looks dynamic as always. I mean, that's just part of Oregon, but that's one of the teams I'm kind of paying attention to now lately to see if they can crack the top 5, Tim's top 5 and everything. So
Yeah.
a little bit of that. So I've been paying attention a little bit, getting my college game up a little bit.
Mikey Nunez says, "What's the easiest way to get into betting?" The easiest way is, I would say, once you hit a bet. Oh, the juice. Once you hit like a 2-man parlay, that it hooks you. It's not something I recommend. Um, it's definitely a drug. Gambling's a drug for
Yeah.
sure. It's easy to get snuck into it, and if you have a problem, call the 1-800 hotline number. But just bet a buck or two, $5, $10. It makes it juicy. JB, Nate's got a good point. What's y'all's power rankings in the NFL right now? Just off the top of your head, let me just put you on blast just a little bit. To end the show, let's go ahead and let's go run down through the power rankings, JB. For me, do you want to start at the bottom? Do you want to start at the back of it?
Yeah.
Let's
Start at
with
number 5. Start at number 5.
Okay, so at number 5.
At 5, I got a kind of a two-way tie here. Let me make sure I got my other 4 in my head. But at 5, I think I'm going with. Dang,
I feel like
dude.
we should
I got
start with
okay.
number 1, bro. If we're
No,
gonna go
no.
down the
Okay, so
line,
number 1, obviously, I'm going Eagles. Obviously, the Eagles. Number
Eagles, huh?
number
I disagree.
who you're saying the Packers?
No, I'm actually gonna go with the Bills.
Oh my God. Okay, that's
Wait, why
fair.
wouldn't
That's
you?
fair.
Why
Okay,
wouldn't? Why
I
wouldn't
got
you?
Eagles. I got
Yeah,
Eagles.
but let's
You got
talk about that real quick. So I got Bills, you got Eagles, but we gotta have one because we're together. We're a unit. We're a duo. We're
yeah.
partners, right? This is SOL with Renee and Borba. So let's just kind of go through this just a little bit. We got a couple minutes, JB. Um, I'm gonna go with the Bills. They just look more impressive. But the one I do get why you would go with the Eagles because I mean they're my Super Bowl favorites right now, and it's because they just know how to win. They sneak out these wins. But the Bills just I feel they just look more dynamic, and maybe I'm a prisoner of the moment because of the game that they just had. I probably am. So, but we're gonna go in with that performance into week 3. I think going into week 3, you got to give the Bills their credit for answering our question: is Josh Allen your best runner? And in week 2, they showed us no. We got James Cook, who we can also hand the ball to. Now, are they going to be? Is that going to be a consistent thing throughout the year? Don't know. That's another question mark for them. And we're going to continue to say that Josh Allen can't be your best runner. It has to be James Cook. And for that reason, going into week 3, that's why I got the Bills.
I can't take the Bills. I can't support the Bills because although they had that great comeback week 1, the ball had to bounce their way a couple times. You had to strip Derrick Henry of the football. You had to get the onside kick. It's just a little bit too much luck. Yeah, you can fight. You can fight. I mean, we saw the Vikings fight. I mean, they suck. So no, I can't stand behind the Bills right now. So I'm
Okay.
100%. I'm taking the Super Bowl champions. I'm taking the Eagles at number 1 because they're beating good teams. And they just showed that. I mean, there's really no signs of weakness. I was kind of spotting out the secondary a little bit, opposite from Kenyon Mitchell. Like they're kind of giving up some plays with Dory Jackson and Cooper DeJean. But I think that's kind of the only weakness on their team. And until somebody shows me that they can go into Philly or that they can just single-handedly beat this team and actually like shut this team down, we have not seen that. So I'm taking Eagles number 1. I'm going to take Bills number 2 just because
Yeah, so we're on the same page.
they look good. So I'll take the Bills at number 2. Number 3, I'm going to go Ravens. I'm going to go Ravens still. So Ravens are still a top 3 team for me. Number 4, I got it. Even though they got
Can
a
I
weak
give you 3?
schedule.
Can I give you my 3? Can I give you my
Yeah, yeah,
third?
yeah, yeah. You're 3 now. You're 3 now.
Never. I think we're gonna. I think we're being a little disrespectful for not even bringing up their name, as Mikey said in the comments. Packers, y'all, and I mean, I'm sure he doesn't have that accent, but
That's just something
I
I don't
think you
agree
got to
with.
put. I think you got to. I think we have to put the Packers at number 3 right now.
You
No,
can.
because that the defense just looks so scary, and we haven't even seen that come out party for Micah Parsons. So just based on expectations. And based off the first 2 performances, I'm gonna have to give the Packers the edge at 3. So I'm gonna sit with the Packers. I'm not saying you're wrong here, JB. I love the Ravens at 3. I honestly I go back and forth with it. I'm gonna sit the Ravens at 4 for me, but I think right now with the Packers, they just got more juice, more energy, and they're probably gonna go on a solid run here. But go ahead now. So at 4,
That's fair. That's fair. I just don't think the Packers. I think the passing game for the Redskins. I mean Redskins. I don't know why I said that. For the
whoa,
Commanders,
whoa, whoa, whoa!
cancel me right
Get the
now. But
pod canceled already.
for Washington, I think their passing game is it's not clicking. I mean, it's pretty weak. So that's something that's still I think is a weakness on this Packers defense is their secondary. So I don't think they've truly been tested. I think week 1 was you're at home, you're
Just
rattled.
the
I
juice.
mean, you got the Lions kind of rattled a little bit. They're in an uncomfortable atmosphere. You first game without your OC and your DC, so you kind of got to figure a couple things out. And they fell behind kind of early, and from
Strength of
there
schedules.
they just couldn't get it. So for me, it's Packers at 4, and then
Okay.
at number 5, I got a split right now. I got a split at 5, at least right now.
Okay.
I'm gonna pick the Chargers at 5 and the Bucks at 5. It's a two-way tie
Okay.
right.
Well, you got to have one.
I
So which
can't, I
one's in front
can't,
of
I
the other?
can't, I can't do that yet. I can't do that yet. I like what Baker Mayfield's doing, man. I think both. See, I think they're so similar in that sense. Baker and Justin Herbert. I think these are like their breakout years where they just get over the hump just a little bit. Now that hump might be like a NFC
Okay,
and an
but
AFC championship game. That's what I mean by the hump. I don't know if either team can make the Super Bowl, but I think they get over the hump and they start winning more games. They start maybe possibly Bucks. I think are locked for the division. Chargers are right up there. They can win the division. I mean, they can definitely win the division. They're already 2-0 in their own division. Who says they can't do it? That offensive line is holding up really good. Defense is playing fast, playing good. And then the Bucks, man, that's what I'm saying. I think the Bucks and Baker Mayfield take that next step offensively. They look good. If they can just keep it
Yeah,
consistent.
yeah.
It's hard
I
for me to break that right now.
I'll do the tiebreaker for you. I'm gonna go with the Chargers. The defense looks so much improved, just like Mikey just hit us in the comments. That their defense looks so much more improved. The camaraderie, help me out with that word. The locker room juice right now
Yeah,
is flowing. Harbaugh is leading that team. The strength of schedule, I guess I'll bring that up. I just think they had better results, better performances. So I would put the Chargers slightly over the Bucks right now. The Bucks kind of squeezed out those 2 wins. Sure, Baker Mayfield showed up in the fourth quarter, but they didn't make it easy. As for the Chargers, I mean, you kind of see it's game management, it's
yeah,
pounding the rock, allowing your defense to get a flow of the game, and then you got Justin Herbert at the helm right now, who's playing really well. So I think you got to put the Chargers at 4. So I'll be your tiebreaker there. So just to run down here, JB, your top 5. We're gonna go with the Chargers or Bucks at 5. Give me one.
I'll do Chargers right now. I'll do
All right,
Chargers.
Chargers at 5, Packers at 4, Ravens at 3, Bills 2, and Eagles leading your power rankings. Mine, Bills leading my power rankings, Eagles at 2, Packers at 3, Ravens at 4, and Chargers at 5. I would say that's not a bad list, JB.
Yeah,
Not a bad list.
it's pretty
Hey,
solid.
JB, hell of a show today, bro.
Yeah.
Appreciate you. I appreciate the fellas in the comments. Thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate you guys rocking with us. Let's have a hell of a day. We got another show tomorrow, but we'll be here at 6:30 Mountain Standard Time. Don't forget to join us. Hit the little share, dance around like you just don't care. Give us a little wiggle, and let's have a hell of a day, baby. This is Speaking Out Loud. I appreciate you guys joining. Let's have a day.